So what do you think it is about Criminal Minds that has intrigued so many avid fans throughout all the seasons?
Boy, if I knew that, I'd duplicate it and produce it myself. I don't know. I just think it's a combination of elements that universally people enjoy, which are like, crime drama. It's a crime drama. It deals, so you have all the suspense of that. But the thing that differentiates it from a lot of the other shows, I mean, even throughout history somewhat, is that we're dealing not just with evidence and action and criminals, the crime itself, but the psychological aspects of that. In other words, what were they thinking, in essence? And I think people are, and I think that's part of our universal appeal in terms of international and everything else, is that everybody can relate to that. That like, what's going on in the head of somebody who does this kind of horrific stuff?
And what caused this person's life to take that turn? Because, we all start out kind of with the same somewhat blank slate, and what happened in this person's life to make that particular turn happen, and what made this person capable of doing some of the unspeakable things that we see and that the show deals with every week.
And some of my favorite episodes actually have been ones where there was actually a very strong sympathetic side to that character.
Right.
In other words, very often they're pretty much evil kind of people that need to be stopped. But every once in a while you run into that thing where they're just through, in a way, no fault of their own, through whether it's an illness or trauma in their life or whatever, that they're not basically. And I think people are like you can almost say, gee, if not for such and such, it could be me.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
And not that they don't need to be put away and caught and punished, but there is in fact, one of the interesting things about the people who actually do this job is they can't look at them that way. They have to look at them as a human being, and that's their best way of actually understanding what they've done, why they've done it, and it puts them a step ahead of trying to catch them as well.
Leading into upcoming season, what can fans look forward to? What are people excited about to see this season?
Well, I think that the team's back together again. We've got Paget and AJ back, and it's really great. And we've got a story in which they've come back in which there are difficulties and complications presented with their return, which need to be dealt with, which is also interesting and good stuff for us to play as actors. But it feels like we've got a new energy, and that we're kind of starting over, which is really nice, especially for a show in its in its mature years, to have the opportunity to feel refreshed and re-energized.
Yeah, I mean, it's like getting a B12 shot after 7 years.
It's true.
It's true.
And it's a kind of a good thing. I mean, it was a little disruptive in a way for us last year, but as Thomas says, I think it re-energizes us, and not just within the cast. I mean, there were shakeups even within our whole production staff and all that, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that every once in a while you do need to kind of, as sports teams do, you have to kind of switch people in and out and to try to make the current edition as best as possible.